and I pay my respects to elders and First Nations people. I'd also like to extend a huge thanks to Georgie Passau and her amazing team, and to Parliament Victoria for hosting this kangaroo briefing. I feel especially fortunate to have been present to Auntie's important messages and to be speaking today with Pete Ewan from Ewan Nation and Back to Country, who will speak next. I work as campaign manager at Kangaroos Alive, and I stand here as part of a delegation of Kangaroos Alive, Animals Australia and the Victorian Kangaroos Alliance, working to save the kangaroo, keystone species, native wildlife, sacred totem and national icon.
I'm a Ewan man. My ancient teacher, who you saw in the film there, Uncle Max, is in Sky Country now. He gave me a responsibility to look after Booroo. We call him Booroo, so you hear me say Booroo, I'm basically saying kangaroo. An ancient animal that's cared for this place that we call Australia is under attack. That animal isn't the one with assault rifles. It's an animal that's become a refugee in its own home. It doesn't have access to its ancient songlines. And as a part of looking and holding the responsibility for that totem is to provide that protection. That ancient animal has taught our people. You heard Arnie, thank you Arnie for speaking so passionately about how our old people learn about community, kinship. But we're given totems to hold responsibility. I am that animal. In my language we say Mujungal, it's the protect the spirit of that. So when with some of the people that were in that film, Mark Pearson, Mick, who was the one of the directors, some other Kangaroos Alive mob, we went over to Europe this time last year and spoke to the Roman Parliament, The Hague, Netherlands, also in Brussels. They got an interesting political system over there where they got three parliaments in Brussels, and then we spoke in the EU in Strasbourg to the EU Parliament to ask them to stop importing our native animal. They were totally beside themselves to how they see that we treat this ancient fella, this animal that's lived here for millions of years. It's helped to carve out this ancient landscape.
At Kangaroos Alive, we advocate for a moratorium on commercial killing. And today we're here in Parliament alongside Animals Australia and Victorian Kangaroos Alliance, seeking positive change for kangaroos, acknowledging their importance, presenting this briefing and delivering a letter to the government to compel action to end cruelty and suffering experienced by kangaroos and transition to coexistence in line with public opinion and how kangaroos have lived in harmony with First People for millennia.
I brought with me a message stick, which Uncle asked me to design and create. Our old people spoke with authenticity, and the message stick would authenticate that message. It's a bit like one of those wax seals, that the Western mob put on the back of their envelopes. It's an ancient communication. I'll pass this around so that you can have a little feel of it, but it talks about that ancient connection that animal has to this landscape. Uncle would often say, you've got to read the text of the land to listen to it talk with that voice. That story communicates to us. We can feel the fear that animal has. People are consuming that fear. The damage that's done to that animal is we're damaging ourselves. A totem teaches us that we are that, and it is us. We come from the same place. But in particular, we're here to give voice for Booroo. In my language, we say, Bagala Jamaga, Bagala Booroo. So speak for country, speak for Booroo. When we see these things, we need to give it voice and hold that responsibility.
I just want to say a really big thank you so much. My office, and I'm sure all the organisations here, are absolutely dedicated to do every single thing that we can to protect our native icons from this horrific slaughter that happens under the cover of darkness in our state. And I know slowly but surely we will make that happen. Thank you.